Who was the best qualifier in HYPERCAR in 2023? I've crunched the numbers, so let's take a look. As always, the nature of multi-driver racing makes this a much harder question to answer than it sounds. Not every driver took part in every qualifying session, making comparisons difficult, so I've compiled a selection of different rankings. In this video, I'll go through the results of each before nominating my picks for HYPERCAR Qualifier of the Year. The easiest way to rank drivers is by amount of pole positions, in an Olympic medal fashion. Kamui Kobayashi took 3 poles in 2023, with Brendan Hartley and Antonio Fuoco taking 2 each. Alessandro Pierguidi and Miguel Molina were the only other drivers to qualify on the front row. But what about average grid position? This puts a greater focus on consistency than amount of poles, and has a surprise winner. Miguel Molina did only 1 qualifying session in 2023, but qualified second, giving him the best average. Kobayashi averaged 2.1 and Fuoco 2.3. If you remove his accident at Spa, Hartley would have tied Molina, but instead ends up 4th on this list. All 6 Ferrari drivers qualified at least once in 2023, and they dominate this ranking, with all of them in the top 11. Mean percentage gap to pole is a popular measure in Formula 1, and again, Molina comes out on top here, with his Spa lap just 0.02% off pole position. Fuoco is second, with Antonio Giovinazzi third, and Hartley and Kobayashi 4th and 5th. Now, I think we can all agree that pole at Le Mans is more valuable than anywhere else. So what if we awarded points for qualifying based off the race point system? Here, Kobayashi comes out on top, 10 points ahead of Hartley, with Fuoco down in third, 42 points back, but having done 3 less rounds. With all of the extra data that they have but we don't, it's fair to argue the teams might know more about who's a better qualifier than we do, and as such who they choose to qualify the car is a hint as to who each team's best qualifier probably is. Kevin Estre, Kobayashi and Hartley were the only ones to qualify every race, with Frederick Makovecki qualifying from round 2 onwards. Tom Dillman, who did every session for Van Wall before leaving the team, Alex Lynn and Fuoco are all tied for 5th here. Interestingly, Peugeot never settled on a qualifying driver, with their drivers rotating evenly throughout the season. I've released a team-by-team qualifying analysis for free on my Buy Me a Coffee page, link in the description. Although HYPERCAR is a BOP formula, differences in experience and testing budget meant teams weren't all equal in 2023. So just like in F1, the best comparison might be between teammates. Estre outqualified his teammate 5 times in 2023, with both Hartley and Fuoco coming out on top on 4 occasions. 6 different drivers outqualified their teammate every time this year. Fuoco came out ahead of the 51 whenever he qualified the 50 car, and Earl Bamber and Jean-Eric Vergne beat teammates on the 2 occasions they qualified. Molina, Felipe Nasr and Romain Demar only went up against teammates once, all coming out on top on that occasion. Percentage head-to-head wins is the only ranking I've done where Hartley and Kobayashi aren't in the top 5, and that's because they were pitted against each other. Overall, I think 3 drivers stood out over 1 lap in 2023, Kobayashi, Hartley and Fuoco. Kobayashi took the most poles of anyone, and has the lowest average position of anyone who did more than 1 session. Hartley won the teammate head-to-head against Kamui, was probably the most consistent qualifier, and also took a clutch pole in Bahrain, which was very important in the title fight. And then Fuoco took the 2 most memorable poles of 2023, Sebring and Le Mans. And as a couple of wildcard shouts, it'd be nice to see if Molina could keep up his form across more than 1 session, as right now he's quite the statistical anomaly, whilst Bamba, Estra and Lin can all dispute being the best LMDH qualifier of 2023. So who do you think the best qualifier was this year? Please let me know in the comments below. And whilst you're down there, why not press that like button and subscribe to the channel? It really helps me out.